They said the desert keeps its secrets, but not this one. In the middle of nowhere stands a house made of mirrors, half buried, half forgotten. And one night, a woman walked out of it. No records, no history, just a reflection that wasn't hers. The mirror house, the girl who should have never existed. My name is Alice, and I think someone's in the house. When police traced the call, it led them to a cabin on the edge of Flagstaff, Arizona, a place surrounded by pine, silence, and unanswered questions. Inside, the door was ajar. No signs of a struggle. No footprints. Just a half-empty coffee cup, a ringing phone, and a note left on the table that read, "My name is Alice, but that's not who I really am." They thought it was another missing persons case. It wasn't. It was something else entirely. 2 days later, a park ranger found a car abandoned 12 miles north. The plates belonged to Alice Monroe. The face on the driver's license didn't. When they ran her fingerprints, there was no record of her anywhere in the country. No job history. No family. No past. It was as if Alice had simply appeared. The deeper investigators dug, the stranger it got. Security footage showed her walking into a grocery store the night before she vanished, alone, calm, and wearing a dark green coat. But here's what no one could explain. A woman with the same face had been reported missing in another state 3 years earlier. Different name, different life, same smile. Every identity she used belonged to someone who had once gone missing and then reappeared months later, claiming to remember nothing. Detectives found 7 names, 7 lives, all tied to her. Or maybe she was tied to them. But then came the twist. DNA from a cup in the cabin matched someone who'd vanished in 1993. A 6-year-old girl named Rebecca Hale, abducted from a rest stop in New Mexico. Never found. It didn't make sense. Rebecca would have been 38. Alice looked no older than 30. The math didn't fit. The science didn't fit. And then a letter showed up at the sheriff's office. No return address. Just 3 words, written in the same shaky handwriting found at the cabin. "Stop calling me Alice." That's when they realized something else. All 7 women whose names she used had been found near the same stretch of highway, years apart. Each one had a faint surgical scar behind the left ear, just like Alice. The case that began with one voice on a phone was about to uncover a secret buried decades deep, a secret that would make even the FBI question what they were chasing. And as for Alice, she wasn't missing. She was watching when the woman calling herself Alice vanished. She left behind 7 identities, 1 blood sample, and a trail of questions no one could answer. But that was before detectives found the coordinates. A string of numbers scribbled inside the envelope mailed to the sheriff's office. The same one that read, "Stop calling me Alice." The coordinates led to an abandoned government facility, 30 miles south of Holbrook, Arizona, a place erased from public records decades ago. Locals called it the Mirror House. When investigators entered, the air was still, stale. Inside were rows of rooms with one-way mirrors, rusted hospital beds, and faded file boxes stamped with the words, Project Echo. Most of the documents were burned, but what they found intact changed everything they thought they knew about Alice. Each file contained a name. Women who had vanished from across the Southwest between 1989 and 2004. But here's the chilling part. Every file had the same photo attached. The same woman. Different names. Different ages. Her face, identical in each image, never seemed to age. And at the bottom of each file was the same line, written in ink. Memory replication test. Phase 7 complete. Investigators reached out to a retired researcher once tied to the facility. He refused to go on record, but he did say one thing before hanging up the phone. If she's still out there, she doesn't know she's not the original. For years, conspiracy theorists had whispered about government memory experiments, programs meant to test identity transference, where memories could be erased, rewritten, or replicated. Most dismissed them as rumors, but the Mirror House suggested otherwise. Among the scattered notes was one unburned photo, a group of children standing in front of the facility. All smiling, all with the same eyes. And in the center, a little girl named Rebecca Hale. Police dug deeper into Rebecca's old case files. Her mother had reported receiving strange letters for years after the disappearance. Letters written in different handwriting, but always signed Becca. DNA tests from 2 of those envelopes came back inconclusive, and the third, destroyed, filed as contamination. But now, for the first time, investigators believed it wasn't just a missing child case. It was a replication, a woman built from the fragments of others, memories stitched from multiple lives. 3 months after the discovery of the Mirror House, a highway patrol officer found a suitcase abandoned at a gas station. Inside were 7 driver's licenses, each matching the names Alice had used, and one photograph. It showed a woman in a hospital gown staring into a cracked mirror. Behind her reflection stood another woman, smiling. On the back of the photo, written in the same shaking script, "You're not the first me." The FBI sealed off the facility within days. Files vanished. Records deleted. The investigation closed. But 2 weeks later, a local radio station in Holbrook received an anonymous voicemail. A woman's voice, familiar, tired, calm. "Stop looking for me. You'll only find yourself." The timestamp? Exactly 1 year to the day since the first 9/11 call from Alice. And just when everyone thought it was over, a new call came in. Different number, different city, same voice. "My name is Rebecca, and I think someone's in the house." Note, this story is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. It is created for entertainment only and does not claim factual accuracy. Viewer discretion is advised. The creator is not responsible for viewers' perception or interpretation of this content. Coming soon, Part 2, because what investigators found next rewrites everything we know about identity, memory, and what it means to be real. But what if I told you the girl who walked out of that Mirror House wasn't supposed to exist at all? In Part 2, We go deeper into the desert and into the truth that was buried beneath the glass. Because behind every reflection, there's something staring back. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and stay close. The next piece of the puzzle drops soon. And trust me, you won't see yourself the same way again.